How you guys doing? Nick the Sailor here. Welcome aboard the next video. Now today I'm going to be doing a review on the Video Games Monthly, or VGM. So when it shows up in the mail, it shows up through USPS, through priority mail, like this. And when you pull it out, you have Video Games Monthly. I like that it has a very simple design. It's very easy. And I like that about it. Now, this monthly subscription, I always get the cheapest one, was $29.99 just to test this out, and I don't like spending too much every month on collecting games. So $29.99 for this particular box. That includes shipping. And something they allow you to do, or they want you to do, is to put every game you own on a list so they don't get you duplicates, so you don't have the same game and you don't keep repeating. So let's go ahead and open up this box and get this review underway. What are you doing? Nikki! Nikki! Stop it! Stop. Hey man, come on now. My son wanted to play Duck Hunt. Just give me a minute, I'll get back to you on this. Okay, let's get this thing started. So, usually it will come with this card, basically thanking you for being a for having the subscription and everything like that, and I hope that you enjoy the box.
That's full of shit, Nick.
What?
You got it too. You got some, because it was more than that. That's in there.
He had two.
There was more than that, though.
I didn't have any. He had two.
Well,
that was
there's
it.
more than that. You go away. Go with Daddy.
Oh my lord. Now, in my case, I also got a 2-up, which is I received 2 free games because I subscribed for 3 games. And there's going to be a reason to this, my theory, anyways. But I'll get to that later on. Why I had 2 extra ones in my box. So I have 5 games to show you today. Now the first game I'm going to show you is on the PlayStation 1, is Saltwater Sport Fishing. Now I'm not going to bore you guys with the in-game play with this and things of that nature, but I will say that I do enjoy bass fishing games on occasions. And I'm not much of a saltwater fishing guy. I've actually never been saltwater fishing. I do freshwater fishing. I gotta say, I don't really see myself playing this game very much, but it does seem like it's a challenge. I have seen some in-game footage that I might show you guys just for a split second, and it seems challenging. So if that's your forte, then go for it by all means, but this is more of a filler to my collection than a game that I would actually play. So putting that aside, on to the next game. We have for the Atari 2600, Champions of Soccer. Now, I'm not one for collecting sports games on the Atari 2600. They're typically boring and dull. But it is a game that I don't have in my collection. And there is one downside. When I tried to actually add this to my collection on their set list of games that you can put on as saying that you have it so they don't get you a duplicate, they didn't have this on their list. So I don't know how that's going to happen. Maybe I'll just send them an email letting them know, hey, I got this game. I tried to put it on my list, but it's not listed on there. So I'll have to send them an email letting them know about that. But I'll show a little bit of in-game footage of what this is like. Alright, I have no idea what's going on. Is this thing working? Is this thing working? It's not working. Okay, game set. What the hell? Game reset. Okay, there we go. Okay, I got it. What? What? Okay, there, here we go. Okay. Oh, no, I don't want to go that way. Alright, let's get to, okay. Alright, so, dang it. Definitely a 2-player game, that's why the blue one's not moving. The computer, oh my god, these things, Jesus, oh sweet, my lord, oh my god, I'm gonna die. It's not. What? This is. Oh, I just kicked it right in the goalie's hands. Yeah, don't recommend. I do not recommend this game. It was actually about 99 cents, so there's that going for it because it was pretty cheap. Now let's go ahead and set this aside and move on to the next game. Our next game is 720 Degrees. Now, as far as I understand, this game in particular is a skateboarding game. And I'm going to go ahead and boot this up and show you guys a little bit of in-game footage, but it seems like an early type, kind of like, I would say, Tony Hawk type game. It's not like Excite Bike or anything like that. Skate or Die, I mean. That's what I meant, Skate or Die. Which I actually have in my collection. And I can actually show you some footage that compares the two. So that way you guys have an understanding of the difference between those two games. Skate or Die versus 720 Degrees. So 720 Degrees, skateboarding game, has like a 2.5 out of 5 rating, which is like, it's mediocre. So there's that game. So let's go ahead and take a look at comparing these two. No! So in 720 Degrees, it's kind of hard to, oh dang it, get a hold of the controls. And you constantly die. It's ridiculous. I would suck at this. Okay, now I'm starting to see why this game kind of sucks. Now we're going to compare that to Skate or Die. In Skate or Die, I don't even know what the hell I need to do to get points. All I know is I'm just jumping from one side to the other and just doing whatever. And it doesn't really explain a whole lot. But if I were to say anything, I'd say 720 Degrees was better than Skate or Die. That's just my opinion. Now, putting this game aside, our next game is Flying Warriors. Now, this game actually seems pretty interesting. A heroic action adventure game. And I looked this one up online because I'd never actually heard of it. And it actually has a 4.5 out of 5 rating on some sites. So there are people out there who really love this game. It's very interesting. I'll go ahead and pop this in and show you guys some in-game footage so we can actually see what this is like. Alright, so we're going to try out this game real quick, see how it fares out. Now, I would record these things on through some sort of recording box, but I don't have that. And I just do this on the side from the regular videos I do. So let's go ahead and try this out. So, select mode, password, start, I guess, beginner, standard. So basically what you do is whenever there is an icon that shows up on yourself, you just press right on the D-pad to defend, and whenever a marker appears on your opponent, you press B to attack them. And you have to be very careful and be very vigilant and aware of what's going on. So those are the basic controls. And I gotta say, it's actually pretty fun and kind of challenging, but once you get a hang of it, I can see how you could just start kicking some major ass. Now, putting this game aside, we are going to go ahead and move on to our next game. So, the next game we have on our list, and the last game, is on the original Xbox, Superman, the Man of Steel. Now, if you're somebody like me, and of course it says Atari on the box, but if you're somebody like me that's been around gaming for a while, you'll know that basically any Superman video game is doomed to fail. And this one in particular I haven't really heard good things about, but it is better than the N64 Superman. If y'all have ever heard about that, it's considered one of the worst games of all time. And I can show you split-second footage of that to compare the two. Well, at least it's inverted. Ow, ow, ow. What's going on? Where am I going? Ow. There's no explanations here. Alright, I'm gonna come out and say it. The controls of this suck donkey dick. Just putting it out there that this is terrible.
Robots have defeated Superman.
Yeah, that was lame. See what I mean by Superman games are terrible? Moving on. Now, I don't own the N64 Superman game, which I would love to own just to say I have one of the worst games ever. Kind of like I can say about E.T. the Extraterrestrial on the Atari 2600. I actually own that one. I do enjoy collecting games, even if they are some of the worst in the world, just because the history behind them. When it comes to the Superman and the Man of Steel, I do have one fatal issue with this game. It does not have a manual. Now this bothers me. I like to have my games complete in box with manual, and for me this is kind of a concern for me because I don't really. Okay, let's redo that. So one of the problems that I have with this is it doesn't have a manual. So I like to have my games complete in box with manual. I like that. Now this game isn't exactly one on my top hit list, so it doesn't bother me too much that there isn't a manual, but at the same time it really does because I really want my manuals to come with my games. And that's one thing I can say about the fishing game is that it came complete with a manual. Now, the only time I'm concerned about these things, if it's PS2, PS1, or the original Xbox, that's when I want a manual along with the game. So, moving on from there, we're going to be completing the review on this box. So, $29.99 a month, that includes shipping and handling in that price. These games added up as to a total of $24 and some change. So I'd have to say this is actually pretty damn good. I got 5 games instead of 3, and like I mentioned earlier, part of the reason why they probably gave me 2 extra games is because the 3 games they had chosen out for me, it was kind of robbing me blind a little bit, so they had to try and balance out and get me some other games along with what they already picked out for me so it would even out. So $24 and some change altogether for all 5 of these games. Excellent. Definitely give them a thumbs way up on that one. They did a great job, excellent job. Of course, a few of these games I could care less about, but that's not the point here. The point here is that I am collecting games, and this does add to my collection. Yeah, I forgot to mention that they also came with a pair of sunglasses. And since I got these games, including some of the games that I bought yesterday to add to my collection, I have officially reached 199 games. So I'm one away from 200. And I do have a goal of reaching 1,000. Eventually, it's going to take me quite a few years to get there. And eventually 2,000. I want to get to 2,000 and stop there. That's my goal. I don't need a complete collection of anything. I just want to have a good variety of games, good quality of games. So when it comes to the Video Games Monthly box, I gotta say that they go for quantity, not so much quality. But not a bad purchase. $29.99, 5 games, I can't complain. So shout out to Video Games Monthly. I like the box y'all sent me. I really appreciate it. Now in the next video I will be comparing the Video Games Monthly box to the Retro Game Treasure box. I will be comparing these two, and I'll even cover some of the information I forgot to cover on the Retro Game Treasure box that I did in the previous video when I did a review on it. So stay tuned for that video. Remember 22 and stay classy, bros.